Get started in just a couple of minutes. It's fast track. Get a little midday momentum Mondays and Tuesdays for our beginners or those that need a refresher. We just finished a class for our subscribers. Had a good time talking about breakdown times of foods and how to keep fast digesting carbs away from slow digesting fats. We want to keep them apart. So that was our discussion at 10:30 for our subscribers. We'll send out some class notes later. It was a good enough class that we should send some out about perfect pairing ideas. This is our fast track class. This is where everything happens. It's the beginning. Those that earn the fast track badge, tens of thousands have earned it, by the way. They fare a lot better than those who never go through the material, and it's fast and it's easy to go through. It's been updated, by the way. So if it's been a while since you went through it, you might want to do that again. All right, we won't keep you forever, not in this class. We want to get you back started with fast track. Super important. Let me show you where to find everything when you're starting back over. Hey, Melissa. So this is where we build the foundation, the chief cornerstone, right? Is Jesus Christ, and then we're building how we eat upon that cornerstone of faith. We got to have the faith if we're going to be successful. You cannot change long-standing bad habits without faith. In my estimation, it's just impossible to do. If we don't walk in the Spirit and deny the lust of the flesh, there's no hope. And if we can get our mind and heart right and start living and eating unto Christ, turn our food into a type of worship, oh, what blessings, what blessings. So determining up front, we talked about this some in the previous class, determining up front that your lifestyle, the way that you eat, is not up for negotiation. It's either time to have a challah meal or it's not. You've either decided to have a perfect day today or you haven't. If you do slip up, there's grace and we get back started quicker. We don't throw our hands up in there and say, I messed up, I quit. We don't do that. We celebrate our success, and if we slip, we say, I hate it when that happens, but I'm getting back in the saddle now. And then we don't make enemies of ourselves. Well, I'm a bad person because I cheated or whatever. I have no discipline. No, get mad at the right culprit. Get mad at McDonald's. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You're making friends with the enemy. If you grab a Big Mac and some chicken nuggets and French fries and then you beat yourself up after you had it, what good's that doing? You're going to do that again and again. But if you say, that darn McDonald's, that sucker got me again, I can do it though. You just got to change the narrative, and it does make a difference. I did this program initially the hard way. I beat myself up every step of the way. But I got to be my own best friend. You got to be your own best friend. Show yourself some grace. But you have to buffet your flesh. You can't, the Bible says but we buffet our flesh. We need to buffet it. We need to be tough on ourselves, but not mean, not cruel. We don't need to buffet it, right? Anyway, I digress. So we log in. Everybody gets Fast Track for free. But it's not free for me. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. It's not free for me. It costs me to give it away. So we're giving it away, not just teaching you a little something, but giving you the support so that all you ever need to change your life is Fast Track, unless you want to go deeper. So here I went into dashboard. And when you go to your dashboard, you just go to Fast Track with Travis. And then we have our Bulletproof Shield. and we have our downloadables, our welcome packet, our meal ideas, everything we need to get started. And then there'll be a quiz after each video, just 2 questions, just to make sure that you absorb the content. Then we move to the next video. It takes less than 2.5 hours to complete this course. And if you've decided to change, that's nothing. That'll go by like a blink of an eye. And then you'll have a good foundation whereby you can get into efficient fat burning and you can stay there forever, as long as you want to, anyway. So it goes over everything from portion control to food combining to timing to fasting, everything that you need to do to live this day and have a perfect day. And then after 2 perfect days, we're in EFB. So don't forget your test. Down here, you'll find the beginner meal plan. You'll find your beginner food library. If you see the food library, you'll notice there's only hundreds of foods approved. But once you open up the full library, there's thousands of foods approved. You'll never run out of variety with this program. Some things, it's not even what you're eating, it's how you're eating it, what you're putting with it to control yourself hormonally. Okay, so we get into all that in the videos. You've got your food survival guide, your recipe library, everything you need right here. If you decide to unlock the full experience, we'll come running. Okay, I think everybody that actually engages with the full experience will tell you it's worth it. If they're not engaging, obviously not, but those that are engaging will tell you it will really help you deepen your understanding and knowledge, and you'll just get amazing support. Okay. So everybody knows where to start here. Anybody have any questions about where to start, how to start? Let's get going then. So today, just a quick lesson on your food library. Obviously, you can go to it there on the website, but we're going to take a look at when you're starting or restarting, what categories of food offer the best results and the fastest results. Everybody wants the fastest, but it's not there's an old story about the tortoise and the hare. And the tortoise went slow and the hare went fast, right? I want you to do both. I want you to be steady like the tortoise, steady as a clock, and keep standing on the rock. I want you to be steady, but you can also be fast. But we've got to get the expectations right. So if I'm trying to lose weight in my first 30 days of following Fast Track, if I follow it right, I can lose 10% of my beginning weight. Meaning, if I start at 300, I can lose up to 30 pounds in my first month. This is verified not with one person, not with 2 people, not with 200, but thousands. You can lose 10% following this program of your beginning weight in the first 30 days. So what if you do half that good? That's still a lot of body fat. Then let's say that I've lost this and I'm 270. Now in that 5th week, because I've depleted all that stored glucose and all the water and gotten rid of some waste, now I'm at about 1% of my weight per week, meaning about 2.7 pounds in that 5th week. That should be the goal. So, Travis, that sounds slow to me. That is so fast. We have to change the narrative. We have to change how we think. If somebody gains 50 pounds in a year, they would say, boy, I really put on the weight in 2025. I put on 50 pounds so fast. But when you lose 50 pounds, a pound a week, people will say, I lost it so slow. It's so slow for me. Both can't hold true. You can't gain 50 fast, but losing 50 slow. So it's just getting the right mindset going into this thing. I didn't put it on overnight. I'm not taking it off overnight. If you want it to seem like it fell off overnight, have fun doing it. Anything that you dread, that you fear, that you worry over, that you don't really want to be doing, it's going to feel like it's taking forever. But if you just live your life, focus on the foods you can have, not on the ones you can't have, you'll lose fat so fast it'll seem like a day. 1,000 years will feel like a day because you're having so much enjoyment of your program and you just feel better. Focus on these things. Christ Jesus said, focus on whatever's lovely, whatever's honorable, whatever's good. You can't focus on slow weight loss. You'll never get there. You got if you lose a pound, whoa, I lost it fast this week. A pound of fat takes up that much space on the body, so that is fast. Now, as time goes by, let's say that I wanted to be 200 pounds. When I get close to 200, it might be a half a percent, might be a half of 1%, still going to be fine because it's coming off a smaller and smaller frame. So if a pound of fat, this is about the size of a pound of fat, how much space it takes. So when I'm 300 pounds, this pound of fat comes off fast because I got so much to lose, but it don't show up because it's coming off a big frame. But when I got down to 200 pounds and I lose one of these, it's coming off, it's slower. To lose that pound was slower, but it's coming off a smaller and smaller frame. It actually makes more visual difference the closer you get to goal, even though it feels like it's coming off slower. But that's what you've got to look forward to, and you just have to buy into that. If you don't go into that with your eyes open and realize life don't get better when you go from 300 and then you wake up at 200. It's getting better with every pound of loss. Every pound you lose, life is getting better. Focus on that. Not that you haven't reached your goal overnight, but that at 299 life is better. At 280 life is better. At 270 life is better. Don't be so focused on this number that you don't enjoy the descent down too. Enjoy the journey. Then what we're going to do in fast track is we're going to learn to categorize foods the right way. So we first look at the foods that God provides. God provided food before the flood, a lot of plant-based foods. That's expanded now because of agriculture and how we do things. And then after the flood, God allowed for meat to be eaten. And the closer we eat our plants and our animals, the closer we get them or get the source of them, the supply of them, the closer we get them to the way they're found in nature, the better they are. The more minimally processed, the better. Now, with this program, we can have processed foods if it meets our food formulas. We have a library of thousands of foods. We'll teach you how to have grits if you want grits. We'll teach you how to have Special K red berries if you want to have that. But we start by building a program focused on whole foods. We have 7 categories of whole foods. Category 1 is lean protein. This is things like chicken breast, turkey cutlets, turkey breast, egg whites, all fish, 96% lean ground meat, low-fat cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, our approved milks. So lean proteins. Here with protein, we stop the fat bus. We put the brakes on the fat bus and we preserve muscle and we build a metabolism. By the way, the fat bus is our name for insulin. Insulin, when we have elevated levels of insulin, we stop fat burning for up to 2 days. Our appetite goes up and fat storage takes place. We also destroy the integrity of the cell with high levels of insulin. We destroy the mitochondria, shortening our life expectancy. So, do we want to control insulin? You betcha. All we do to control it here, food combining and or supplementation. So if you food combine and you take berberine and a good carb blocker, you're doing all you can to keep the fat bus at bay. Food combining is the most potent of those that I mentioned. The others enhance our ability to control the fat bus. If we don't control the fat bus, even if we're trying to starve fat off, we're not going to lose fat efficiently. You got to control it. Back to this. So lean protein helps control the fat bus. Category 2, fibrous carb. This is your broccoli, your asparagus, your green beans, your squash, your leafy greens, okra, cucumbers. So tons of fibrous carbs. They're like speed bumps to the fat bus. So I've got two categories of food that I'm prioritizing here that help me shut down the fat bus. Isn't that awesome? So we're controlling the fat bus, not with medications, but with delicious foods. Then we have category 2. This is fibrous breads. So it's a subcategory of fibrous carbs. Bread makes you dead, but we allow bread that fits our formula because the breads here, this is going to allow us to have a hamburger, to have a hot dog, to have a wrap, to have a sub, to have a pizza. There's more than 100 approved breads in our library. So you have the benefit of that. Now, what's the real difference here? What's going on? Because they're both similar calories, like Sunbeam bread is similar to Healthy Life bread from a calorie standpoint. What's going on there? Our category 2 breads have more protein and or fiber so that when the body, we taste bread. I'm tasting bread. My peanut butter sandwich still tastes like a peanut butter sandwich, but I'm not having the whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. I'm having an approved bread with enough protein and fiber that I shut down the fat bus. This allows me to have a practical, sustainable program where I can have what everybody else is eating too. I'm just going to pivot and have a different bread. Does that make sense, everybody? Your food library is full of approved breads. Then you have category 3, complex carbohydrate. Now, white rice, white bread, rice, bread, grains, these things are evil. These things are not food. We're not classifying white bread, white rice, and white pasta. When we do that, what you'll learn in Fast Track is that's a hog trough day. That's a holiday because you get too much of this fat bus. This is all in the videos. This is just a refresher. Okay. So the complex carbs we're talking about are like long grain brown rice, tomatoes, onions, carrots, lima beans, peas, sweet potato, white potato, corn. We can have carbohydrate, but what we teach here is how to control insulin related to them. When you control the insulin, you get the taste, you get the benefits of the nutrient, but without so much of the fat bus that stops you from fat burning. So what you'll learn in food combining is I can have my corn, I just can't have it by itself. I have to have it with chicken breast and I have to have it with my okra. I have to have a lean protein, a fibrous carb, then I can have my corn. If I eat the corn by itself, there's nothing to put the brakes on the fat bus. So this is where food combining really comes into play, is learning I can have my potato. It's not that I can't have it, it's how I have it. I can't have it with a steak unless I'm having a holiday, which we're allowed. This is a system. It's a management system. Category 4, protein plus fat. Here we've got our steak, our whole eggs, baby back ribs, any protein that has quite a bit of fat already within it naturally, like the steak or the pork. Most of that, unless it's pork tenderloin, your ribs, pork ribs, spare ribs, chicken wings that are fried, these are proteins plus fats. And what we're going to learn is we got to keep protein plus fat away from the fat bus. That's all we're doing here. Now, there's good, better, best. There's ways to lose the weight faster, slower, but in essence, all we're doing is keeping these slow digesting fats away from carbohydrate. We do that and we follow the bulletproof shield. We got it made. We're going to lose body fat so fast it will amaze everybody in our life. Number 5, fruit. Fruit, all of God's fruit, plant-based fruits, right? Apples, oranges, berries, grapefruit, bananas, peaches, pineapple, cantaloupe, watermelon, all fruit. Tomatoes a fruit too, but I'll go on and people correct me a lot and they'll say, but tomatoes a fruit. I know, but we use it and cook it like a vegetable. So it's a 3. But then you've got a category 5, which is fruit. And there's good fruit and better fruit. So like berries are the best. And then you've got apples and oranges. When you start getting into bananas and melon, you're talking about a lot of fat bust. So you got to be real controlled about your portion. Again, we're keeping the protein plus fat away from the fruit on our perfect days. What would this look like? Well, if I'm grilling out and I have a regular frank on a regular bun, and then I have some watermelon after I eat that grilled hot dog, I got fat bust city. I'm not going to see fat burn for 2 days. But if I have an approved frank, for example, a 97% lean Hebrew National Frank, and I have a Healthy Life hot dog bun that's a category 2 bun, and I have watermelon, all of a sudden I got my fruit. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, it will if you'll watch the videos and meditate on them some, really go through them wanting to understand, and you'll get it. Did you notice there that I said, here's a way to have watermelon with a hot dog, and here's a way not to? So it's the same meal. It's the same meal. All I did was pivot the ingredients. If we were only making a little bit of difference in your life and in your body, I wouldn't be teaching this stuff. It's been too hard to do this for the last 25 years. I wouldn't be teaching this if it just made a little difference. But it doesn't make a little difference. It makes a huge difference. But it all tasted the same. If you like a hot dog, you probably like it not for its nutritive benefit, but because it tastes good, or it's all that's offered at the cookout or whatever. You can have the hot dog the old way and store fat and not burn any fat for 2 days after that. Or you can have it this way. We just change out the frank in the bread. Doesn't that make a lot of sense to do that? If you're dealing with unintended consequences of being overweight or food addiction, why the heck would we keep eating the way everybody else in Babylon's eating? Why would we be doing that? It doesn't make sense to me. It breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart to see people suffer and whine and complain about something so easy to fix. If it was hard to fix, I would get it. But this is not hard to fix. I still eat pizza. I just eat it with a different crust. I still eat a burger. I still eat a hot dog. I don't exclude any nutrient. I don't have to do keto. I don't have to do vegan. I don't have to do carnivore because I know how to eat foods in the right combination. I want you to learn that. It'll be a lifestyle you can live with. Then you got category 6, superfood. Pintos, nuts, seeds, peanut butter. Just all about how I have it. I used to couldn't, I ate a peanut butter sandwich on white bread. I had fat storage. Now I can eat it on my category 2 bread and I got fat loss. Category 7, shellfish. It works the same as category 1. In fact, when I taught many years ago, shellfish was in category 1 because it's just a lean protein. The only reason we moved it to its own category, people have an aversion to shellfish, an allergic reaction, or for religious reasons won't eat it. So we just, to simplify, okay, just if you're one of them, just X that out. But if you're like me and you love shrimp and scallops and crab, you got it made because this is exercise in a category. Then you've got condiments. We're not going to take ketchup and mustard and Worcestershire and A1, and we're not going to take that away from you. We've just got our condiment rule. And then this week, hopefully, you're mastering or remastering how to combine foods. You're looking at what the foods are that you enjoy and what you love, figuring out what category they're in. Then look at the combination chart. We combine them, keeping fast digesting carbs away from slow digesting fats. Boom, we got it made. And again, you don't need all this that I'm teaching you. We tell you what to do in those videos, but this kind of helps you deepen your understanding of why we're telling you what we're telling you. So it's just you learning where to classify the food, committing it to memory, or using your food library. And then we're just eating 3 eating episodes a day. That's plenty of food. You don't even need 3 eating episodes a day. I'm going to put these foods in the right combination on my portion plate: breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. And I'm learning, oh, I have chicken breast, and I have leafy green salad. Boom, exercise on plate. Craving some potato. I have my potato. I have my pork tenderloin, category 1, and I have my squash. Just learning how to do it. I want a sandwich. What kind? Grilled cheese. So I've got my approved cheese with my approved bread. There's my sandwich. I'm just, everything that I used to do when I was over 300 pounds, I still do. All I did was pivot my ingredients. And when I put food on a plate, I know how it's going to break down in my body. You learn and master that, you'll never need another diet. Diets do not work. They waste your time. They stress you out. It's always a rug pull with a diet. You have limited results. You can't keep it up. It's not practical, not sustainable, not fun. You're worse for wear. You white knuckle it. Then you give up and you go back to eating normal, gain the weight back. Then you try a new medication. Same thing happens. Same old crap happens every single time. You could have already got it done if you just chose a healthy lifestyle and stuck to it. Any questions or comments today? Does everybody know where to go get the videos? Thank you. Appreciate you, Marcia. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back in class. We'll look at our bulletproof shield while you continue to go through the videos. Don't forget to get in the support group. If you're not in the support group, that'll probably be the most meaningful part of your journey. And please contribute there. Post photos of your meals. We need a lively, vibrant group in that members only group so that we can support each other. There's plenty of approved pizza. There's so many different ways to get pizza though. Okay. So for example, at a restaurant, we have pizza rules for the restaurant. If they've got a cauliflower crust, not a gluten-free one, a cauliflower one, which will probably be gluten-free, but gluten-free doesn't mean high fiber. So cauliflower crust, then you can have the amount of pizza that would fit on your portion plate. That's your rule. If they don't have a cauliflower crust, if you're trying to have a perfect day and not a holiday, you scoop the toppings off 2 or 3 slices and you have to eat that or put it over leafy greens, or do what I do. I carry in my tortilla or Joseph's flat and I put the toppings on that and I have it that way if I'm wanting the bread. In your food library, if you have the expanded food library, there's probably more than 60 different approved pizzas. There's a Quest pizza. I eat those all the time. The Quest pizza, the pepperoni's delicious. You can find it at Walmart. So yeah, there's tons of pizza. tons of recipes for you to do at home. There's tons of store-bought ones, and then we have our restaurant pizza rules. Pizza's fine as long as we make the pivot and shift the ingredients. Anybody else? Hearts and minds clear? Do I have any people going to give it a whirl this week? You're going to do it this week. Every 10 pounds you lose extends your life statistically by years. Did y'all know that? Every 10 pounds that you lose extends your life by months and even years. Every 10 pounds. Why would you not do this? You got it, Jessica. You do have to let go, Wendy. There's so much. There's a lot of good information out there, but it's not within the confines of a system. So to me, it's bad information. You have to have a full system, a complete, comprehensive management system by which to live your life as it relates to food. 200 extended it quite a bit, didn't it? I bet you've definitely, if you go look that up, do a chat GPT, I bet you that would be a good feature. I bet you that you've increased your lifespan by 10 to 20 years. Great job, by the way. Angie's down 200 pounds, y'all. We've got two active participants right now, both of them down more than 200 pounds. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And that takes so much. They didn't do it 2 days and lose water weight. They've been consistent. Cindy and Angie down 200 each. That's God right there. That's the glory of God inside of them. Good stuff, everybody. And you can be there too. Just consistency. In a year. Yeah, they done it in a year. All right, if you'd like to know more about the program, just click one of the upgrade buttons. And of course, whoever referred you will get credit for that. But just if you decide to come go with us, come go with us. We have different levels of membership for different goals. But you're in Fast Track, and we're here to support you and help you as best we can, as much as you'll let us. Help keep this great program alive. Well, we love you. I'm going to close us out in prayer, and we'll see you at the next one. Champions and torchbearers, this is the week. This week in the evenings, we're going to tackle crypto, beginner class, financial fitness, and we're going to tackle Ayurvedic health, our style. Ayurvedic lifestyle, our style. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Thank y'all. Good to have you all today. Good to have you, Marcia. Keep fighting the good fight. I know you will. Y'all pray for Marcia. She's been overcoming cancer. She's a cancer survivor. All right. Love you all too. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.